Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Sean Lang. I've spent the last several years building and operating a digital agency that's now grown past 50 people, and that's shaped how I think about the decisions that really start to matter once things get complex. Today, I'm joined by Allan Khazak, CEO of Vroom Media Group. Vroom Media is the perfect long-term growth partner for your business, bringing you more customers and improving the overall experience for your clients. Allan, so good to have you on, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Sean. I appreciate you bringing me on.
Absolutely. So, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Vroom Media?
Yeah, so we're a lead generation agency. Basically, what we do is we work with insurance agents and we help them get more customers. We also work with some other verticals as well, but same idea through paid advertising. So we're advertising on Facebook, Google, Instagram, TikTok, etc.
When did the agency start?
So I started the agency in 2020, I think it was around COVID time. Before that, I worked a corporate job, hated it, got into online marketing for about a year to a year and a half and just kind of dabbled more of as a freelancer. And then I realized that I wanted to start an agency and went down that whole rabbit hole and then started working with all kinds of clients and eventually ended up niching down to insurance, which is really our bread and butter.
That's awesome. I love that you niched down. So many people don't do that, and they're making life so much harder for themselves. But you started in 2020. Was that pre-COVID or after COVID had already hit?
Yeah, it was like after COVID, like the summer of COVID is really when like I kind of officially branded myself as an agency.
That's a wild time to start an agency because so many agencies were actually just like closing down because they were losing their local clients. If you were really like local business based, so what was that first year like for you?
Honestly, I think building a business, it's almost like a rinse and repeat process once you build the skill set. So I think for me, where I was really lacking was like sales and fulfillment, like actually knowing how to be a good marketer or even a decent marketer, and so these are areas where I was really lacking. So, like, the first year was more of just, like, skill stacking, to be really candid with you. It was tough because, like, I wasn't a good marketer, and I was trying to sell marketing. I wasn't a good salesperson, and I was trying to sell people on marketing. So, you lack conviction, you lack that muscle memory, and at the same time, you're not that good, and it's a part of the process. It takes time, like, getting good at anything, it takes thousands, if not tens of thousands of hours. So it was like one of these uphill battles where every single day was like, I'm getting like moved down the hill and just getting like defeated. But I learned a lot and built a lot of good skills that I think are serving me well nowadays.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And I've heard people much smarter than me say that the best time to start a business is usually when conditions are the worst because they're never going to get any worse than that, and it's going to make you really really strong. And so, do you think that some of that kind of came into play here for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think like you should start a business as soon as possible and do it when you're young and like not have crazy high expectations. And if you have reasonable expectations and like half the battle is just staying in the game long enough, which I think a lot of people don't do. And so I think it's never a bad time. In fact I would agree that in a bad time it's a better time to start a business because like if it's a bad time for everybody, it's not really a bad time. It's just there's always opportunity. It's just are you seizing them or not? And if there's a downturn in the economy and call it like a company's massive bloated, so to speak, like an agency that has 50 people, the like small fluctuations can have a way bigger impact on them because they just have such massive payroll. So, like, if you have small payroll and you're nimble, like, it's actually a competitive edge, and it allows you to try a lot more and see what's working and what's not and make informed business decisions.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think that a really really important piece that I mean business in general, but specifically agencies really really struggle with the bigger that they get is speed. I think that clients want speed, even if clients aren't always the speediest themselves. Clients ultimately they want speed. They're paying for an agency to solve their problems faster than they can solve it. And so I think that that is definitely a competitive advantage if you can move fast. And of course, being small, generally, if you're efficient, allows you to move faster than sort of the bigger players in the space for sure.
That's what I think makes it very difficult to scale an agency past a certain point, which is a whole different topic. But yeah.
That's I mean that's a topic I love to talk about, but and I think that I mean speed in general. Um, really only happens with really, really solid communication and really, really like, clear boundaries. And again, I think that that's what a lot of like agency owners when they're building an agency, they they just try to they think that scaling is basically just creating more of what they currently have. But you can be small and nimble and lack structure and not have super good communication. But since you're small, everything still flows very, very quickly and everyone still knows what's going on. But if you duplicate that and triple that and quadruple that, you start to realize, oh shoot, without like the actual structure, without things being very, very super clear and without having really good communication, this all just kind of falls apart. Like it's not just a matter of stacking, it's a matter of like building better.
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually an area I lacked for a long time. So I couldn't agree more.
What were the first sort of steps that you took to work on that?
To work on what, operations
Yeah.
or business in general?
I think of them as kind of the same thing, really.
Yeah, I mean, improving my operations, it's a time trial error, hiring coaches, consultants, mentors, simplifying the business model. I think that's a big thing that a lot of agency owners don't do. They try to work with anyone and everyone who gives them a credit card. And the reason they do that is because they don't have a big enough pipeline. So I think that's a big thing. But I think like the first thing is like getting very specialized and focused. Because if you're working with everyone, like you could be the best Facebook media buyer in the world, right? But if you're managing 30 accounts and they're all fundamentally different, you're gonna suck at all of them.
Yeah.
If they're all the same, you can probably exceed at all of them, or majority of them. Not all, but majority, right? And so that's just the reality of it. So I think like something that's very important is to like take away this complexity and bloat from your business and be very specialized because that's how you get good at something.
Absolutely. I mean, if you have, again, to use your example, if you have 30 accounts, but they're in the same industry, the same kind of niche, then you have the benefit of like pattern matching. You start to see patterns, and then you can actually apply those learnings across multiple accounts rather than having to solve each problem individually every single time, right? And like reinventing the wheel.
Yeah. One more thing I want to add is you start to see what I call a snowball effect. So like if every client that reaches out to you is like a roofer and they have specific problems, you understand that market a lot better and they can tell that. You're not just asking them like a specific question like, "Oh, who do you work with?" It's like, "Do you like metal roof replacement jobs?" Great. Like it's very specific. What are your KPIs? Like they all have similar KPIs. It's like, "Oh, we work with these guys and they're in a similar market to you. These are their KPIs." It becomes so much easier to work with them, to sell them, to get them results too. It's quicker. People are impatient. It's crazy. If they work with you like 1 month and you don't get them results right away, they're gone. And so if you don't have your system dialed in, it's so much harder because like if you're doing a custom marketing campaign for someone, it takes time to learn it and dial it in. But if you're just running like an agency where you work with one type of client, it's a lot easier to get them results faster.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, so you said that you niche down to insurance, correct?
Yeah.
So can you kind of walk us through what that process was like, why you arrived at insurance, and
Yeah. There's no magic formula. Like people overcomplicate shit. I think action speaks louder than words, but I think you gotta act smart. So long story short, my friend, I'm like, who should I go after? He's like, just try insurance. They like to talk, and I'm like, okay, cool. Just talk. Yeah. So I just talk to insurance people, and I'm a talker too. I can talk a lot, and so I actually really struggled to sell insurance agents initially. I was very unconfident. Didn't know what I was talking about and like they could sense baloney. And so, you want to get deeper and understand the niche, understand the customers. And then we kind of learned about the market and found a niche that works pretty well for us. So we don't do all insurance, like we have specific segments within insurance that we really specialize in because that's our area of expertise.
I love that. It's so good that you not only have like a very specific industry, but then segments within it, because then you know what problems these segments are going to have. You know what the pain points are. You know, having done it, what the common solves are going to be for those pain points as
Oh,
well.
Not only that, it's so easy to sell people. You just talk to them and you're like, "Oh, like, what type of clients do you want?" Blah, 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 and you're like, "Well, if you really want these type of clients, this is what I would do," and they instantly trust you, and it's like, "Yeah, because this works for another 60 guys across the country." So it's, like, way more confident. You're more confident, they're more confident in you, they're more likely to stick around, all of that, all those benefits.
You mentioned that you're a talker, but you also mentioned earlier that you weren't good at sales. How did you get good at sales aside from just having a lot of sales conversations?
10,000 hours. You don't put
10,000
in
hours.
10,000 hours, you don't get good. I hired some coaches and mentorship and all of that. Everyone, teaches you frameworks, but they don't act on the frameworks, so it's on you to learn.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does your current team makeup look like? I mean, you mentioned that you're kind of more smaller and agile. So what does that look like?
We have 2 pods, CSMs, media buyers, IT personnel in each pod, and then we've got some, like, creative, I have 2 video editors, graphic designers, yeah, I mean, operations manager, etcetera. I had a SDR. We got rid of him, wasn't the right fit, bringing in, another one, so yeah.
Do you still handle most of the sales motion?
Yes, I do, and I'm getting myself off of sales. We're expanding into other verticals right now, which is why I want to get off of sales to focus on more high leverage things. And I'm also working on building a SaaS for my specific clients. And again, it's because I work with a very niche group of people. I was able to uncover a big opportunity, which is why we're building a SaaS. So it's a very niche SaaS. It's like most people wouldn't even know what this is, but it's good, and but yeah, so yeah.
So I remember you in the prep call we had a while ago mentioning the sort of the SaaS tool. So is this something that basically um, are clients going to be able to use this tool independently of working with you, or is this sort of like a requirement for working with you? Is that you use this tool now? Is this potentially an additional lead funnel for the agency coming through the tool? Like how does that work?
There's a lot of reasons I want to build this tool, and it's a great question. So number one is like, if you're selling a 2, 3, 4, 5K retainer, it's like a dread. Every single month, you're on the chopping block every month because you're such a big part of anyone's P&L. So what we're trying to do is build a low ticket tool. It's in a sales enablement tool. That's what you want to call it, right? I'm not going to get into too much details, but it's a sales enablement tool. And basically, the idea is that there's people that are going to use this tool and will not be our clients, and we can funnel them into the agency, right? Because it's an ecosystem. There's also people that can't afford our agency services. Maybe it's too expensive. I can put them on the software because it's going to make them more money, regardless of whether they work with my agency or not, right? So there's that. And there's also people that could leave the agency because 2, 3, 5K a month is a lot of money for them, but the SaaS tool is valuable for them at a low price point. So I already have the lead flow for the software. I don't not have to independently market for it. And because I already have the lead flow and I know it's incredibly valuable, and there is another player in that space, actually multiple. And so we do have our own unique selling proposition as well that I uncovered as well. That's a big opportunity for us. So we're offering a more superior product on the market, and I already have lead flow for it. So if it wasn't for the agency, I would have never uncovered this opportunity.
It sounds super smart, super high leverage, super strategic.
Yes, exactly. And I have a business partner there, so it's going to be its own business unit. It's literally going to be its own company, but it's a SaaS. It's a software basically. Yeah.
How currently are you acquiring new business?
We run ads. We get a lot of referrals, because we deliver good service, and ads, referrals. I run some Google ads. I run some Meta ads. I've done TikTok ads in the past. I stopped. We have another department where we're building out where we work with like larger style brands. LinkedIn is crushing it for us, but not LinkedIn posting. I've never done LinkedIn content in a long time, just like LinkedIn snipe messages to exactly key decision makers. So it's almost like we're hunting, hey, these are the 50 people I need to connect with, and we're hitting them with the right message. That works incredibly well for larger type of clients.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I think that LinkedIn is still such an underutilized channel
Yeah.
for like very, very targeted sales. I mean, it's not gonna be great if you're trying to like spray and pray, but for those really, really specific,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, super, super solid.
I think everything works. It's just how you do it, right? So you got to find what works with that channel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so you started in COVID. Obviously, there's been a lot of learnings to get to where you are. I mean, you put in those tens of thousands of hours. Um, what's a post COVID? Probably within like the last like 2 3 years. What's like a standout challenge that you had that you overcame?
I wouldn't say I overcame it. I'm working on it. It's being a good operator. I think I'm a visionary, and now I spend a lot of time focused on sales, which is obviously a plus for any type of business. But I think in operations I've been lacking, and so right now we're building a lot more systems. I made my business so simple that I didn't have to be a good operator for it to thrive and grow. But if I really want to get to the next level, I have to actually be a good operator. Like good. I will not get to the next level without good operations and smooth operations and things like communication issues, structure, all of this. And I never did it. And my solution was always just make the business so simple that you don't have to be a good operator. And it is true to a point. But if you want to get to another level, you do have to be a good operator.
It definitely does become your ceiling. I mean, you have to be a good operator, or I guess the other option is find a really, really good operator that you can partner with. Either find like a
Yeah,
key
you
a key hire,
you
right?
do, but anytime you find an operator, a lot of them lack like the visionary type of role. So still, as a visionary, you have to steer that operator in the right direction. If you don't steer them in the right direction, they're not going to be very good. So I did have an operator, and he's still with me, and I leaned on him too much and didn't give him proper guidance, which is on me. So you do have to understand how to manage people, which again
Absolutely.
goes into operations as well. So it's not like I used to think that if someone wasn't doing what you wanted, you could just fire them and replace them with someone else. But oftentimes it's not them being the problem. It's you not giving them the right environment. You not giving them the right instructions. You not giving them the right training, etc.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have this one sort of simple diagnostic that I take clients through when they're struggling with an issue, and it's like something is not working, and we're basically trying to figure out like because we always go first to like so and so didn't do it or they did it wrong. Like what the heck is
Yeah.
wrong with them? And I mean sometimes it is a them issue, but often you have to ask the question of like, well, let's look at the process first. Do they have A? Do they have a process? B, is the process actually like fully designed out? Do we have like a definition of done? Do we know what ownership looks like? Do we know what accountability looks like? Yeah, good. So now the next piece is like, have I been leading them? Like, are they getting feedback? Are we regularly like reviewing this stuff? Are they getting coached and do they know? Again, it comes back to do they know what good looks like? And then the third piece is this even the right work for the client that we're working with? Like maybe this is actually a mismatch to begin with, and maybe this isn't necessarily a person problem, but like we are trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. And then finally, it's like, okay, so all of that stuff is good. Okay, now let's look at the person and let's see
Yeah.
like do they get it? Do they want to do it? Do they even have capacity for it, et cetera, right? And often, if you kind of go down the list, you find very, very early on, there's actually a bunch of huge gaps that you didn't really consider because we always focus right on the individual versus like did I set them up? Did I set them up to succeed? Often us fast moving visionary agency owners don't because we move so fast. We're like, you got it, good, and then you move on to the next thing, and then you come back afterwards and you're like, what the hell is this? You
Yeah.
didn't do it right, and they're like, well, I did it based on what I thought you wanted with the limited information that you gave me, right? What's something that you think you would tell yourself just starting out based on what you know now?
Well, I would niche down. I would simplify. I would evolve. I would look at progress every 3 months, and be like, hey, I did this. Did it work? Yes. No. Why? Hey, I did this. Did it work? Yes. No. Why? So and I would also track things a lot more, like cost per call, cost per acquired client, KPIs. Well, I would operate by an Excel spreadsheet a lot sooner. It's something that we're doing right now. I should have done that two years ago, and so I think it's really really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
How
to be data driven. That's basically the takeaway.
be dated, and I so wholeheartedly agree with that. I think that um, often agency owners kind of run run things with like so much ambiguity, and being data driven actually forces you to look at the numbers and then actually like make educated decisions
Yeah.
versus like, I think it's going well, let's keep doing this. I think it's going well. It's such an ambiguous business in general, because you can kind of make it whatever you want, right? You
Yeah.
can make it, it's always a blank slate. Whereas like if you're a plumber, like your path is pretty linear. You know,
Yep.
you're gonna get people who need plumbing work, and there's only specific types of work that you're gonna deliver, and you're gonna charge roughly what they're charging in the area and compete with the local plumbers. But for agencies, it's like it's a completely blank slate, and if you don't make a big focus on, as you said, being data driven, you're going to be shooting yourself on the foot without even knowing it. Really, what do you think? What do you think is the most meaningful way that the agency has changed since you started it?
Well, I grew a team. Before it was just me. Now I have people. I'm not involved in the day to day of marketing. I'm not even involved in the day to day of the marketing strategy. My operator or my operations guy takes care of that. I trained him. I feel like if I'm not involved, they do a better job, which is like a good thing. It's almost like a proud parent, he raised a good kid. But I think these are all good signs. I think I need to get myself off of sales to really fully fire myself from the day to day. But I think something like I've evolved as a person, my team has evolved. I've constantly hired and fired people. You constantly have to deal with that. There's good, there's bad. People go through personal struggles and different things in their life, which causes their productivity to go down. So, I mean, like, everything's changed in my agency since I've started. I think and a big part of that stems from me. I think to get like you as the business owner almost like the quarterback, and so I don't care what anyone says, but like you're a big important part unless you find like killers in every role, which you'll never find killers in every single role. There's always going to be some people that pull more weight than others in any type of company. But like for me, like I've learned how to put better pieces in place, and over time, you fire people, you bring in better people, you learn, you make mistakes, you build systems, so that's a big thing. I think that's with any organization. As you learn, you grow, you develop, you make mistakes, and you learn from those mistakes, and ultimately come out ahead long term.
That's gold right there. That is absolute gold. Um, you're clearly very, very good at lead gen. And one thing that most agency owners tell me they struggle with is lead gen. So if you could offer some sort of like actionable advice or words of wisdom to the agency owners now that are struggling with lead gen, like what would you say?
I would pick a market. I would make an offer, and I would pick a channel that makes sense for that market. So if you're trying to target enterprise clients and sell them something, go where these enterprise clients are. Example, they're probably easier to reach on LinkedIn. If you're trying to target a realtor, he's probably not as active on LinkedIn, way more, or maybe they are, I don't know, but they're more likely to respond to ads. So you might run ads on Facebook or Google. So you want to go where your customer is. And then once you figure out where your customer is, you run ads, you prove out that channel, and you can scale. Now, with any type of agency service, there's something called a TAM, which stands for total addressable market. So you need to bear your TAM in mind it'll impact how much you can scale that business up. It's just inevitable. And then you decide, do you want to grow vertically or horizontally? But in order to really like I think every agency has to run ads to acquire clients, unless you have a really really big brand presence or some kind of organic channel, which takes a long time. So you it's not one or the other, it's and. It's you should be running ads and doing something organic or natural or whatever you want to call it, or building a podcast to get clients. Like these are all great things, but you should always run ads to get clients as well.
Awesome.
One
Great,
thing I
great
wanna
advice.
add, I think this will be very helpful for your audience, is if you are running ads, most of these people don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, and you need some kind of offer, and then, like, people make crazy guarantees, "Make $1,000,000 or I'm gonna send you 500,000 back." This is bullshit, like, no one wants to hear that, but if you're like, "Hey, I'm working with accountants," what do accounting firms want? They want fractional CFO clients. Get 20 fractional CFO client opportunities per month, right? Like that's like a clear offer that like, hey, this is what we're gonna get. But like if your offer is like make $1 million or you don't pay, like that's bullshit. Don't waste your time doing that. But again, you need some kind of offer because no one's gonna buy from you unless you have an offer. Why do offers work? Because people want some kind of transformation and they want a degree of confidence that you can deliver on that transformation. Whether you can deliver on your offer or not, that's something you need to work on and make sure you can deliver on that, which again takes time in building the skill set. But like if you're just like, yo, accountants come work with me, it's not gonna work. Like you have to have like, hey, we help accountants get more fractional CFO clients. If you work with us, you need to spend this amount on ads and we'll get you 20 high quality opportunities per month or whatever it is. But I hope this gives your audience some clarity.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Great, great advice. Well, where can people find out more about you and Vroom Media?
LinkedIn, Allan Khazak. Instagram, ALNVR94. Very simple. They can connect with me on Facebook as well, which I rarely check, but Allan Khazak as well. I have a Facebook. Where else? That's pretty much it. Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate it.